I have a very good friend who has a daughter who's 5 years old who calls me Aunt Susie. And she swallowed a penny. And her mother and father didn't know quite what to do. Should we call an internist? Should we call a pediatrician? What should we do? And the little 5-year-old looks at her mommy and daddy, says, oh, let's call Aunt Susie. She knows a lot about money. And so they did. And in my old, very wise way, I said, oh, please, it'll all come out one day. Don't worry about it if you ask me. But I said, but I need to talk to Sophia. And Sophia, which is her name, got on the phone and told me about it. I said, Sophia, here's the real loss. You no longer have this penny to spend. And little Sophia at 5 years of age says, but Aunt Susie, don't you know, pennies are worthless. Do you see why we need to have things for children? And I said, Sophia, I need to talk to your mother. And Barbara got on the phone, and I said, Barbara, I'm going to ask you to do something for me and for your children. I want you to go and cash $100 into pennies. And then every time you go to the store, I don't care how long it takes. I don't care what the people behind you say to you. I want Sophia to be with you, and I want you to count out 450 pennies when you buy something for $4.50. And I want her to watch that pennies are not worthless and that little things can add up to great treasures. And Barbara has now done that. Now I got a call from Sophia saying, I get the point, Aunt Susie. Can mommy start paying in dollar bills now? Anyway, let's go right to this gentleman, and what do you want to know, sir?
One of my most important family responsibilities is to bring in mail from the mailbox. And typically when I do, it's filled with missives for my 20-something son. They're all in business envelopes, and they're marked urgent, confidential, important.
And I mean, they're all credit card offers, and they promise crusty jewels and limousines, and they're all really tempting, but I don't really know which one to, accept. I already have a credit card with my bank, but, I mean, what should I do?
All right, here you are. You're opening up these credit cards. How's it make you feel, these offers?
Pretty powerful.
Powerful, I see. And when you're opening them, what's Papa telling you?
He usually just throws them away.
He just and how does that make you feel, the fact that he's throwing your mail away?
Pretty unpowerful.
All right. This is a very important thing, Papa, that your son has just told you. You cannot protect him by throwing away his mail. You cannot protect him by keeping him away from supposed bad people. The only thing that you can do is educate him in a way of why he should accept those credit cards or why he should not. When do you use credit cards and they make sense? When do you not? You have a credit card already, you said.
Yeah, it's got a pretty decent limit on it, too.
And, all right, so it's a decent limit. How much of a credit limit?
$1,400.
$1,400. And how much of that credit limit have you used?
I'm running around $100 right now.
So, out of the $1,400 credit limit, you have a debt of $100. And just out of curiosity, what did you spend that $100 on?
Probably soda and video games.
Danger! 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 You just heard me talk about good uses and bad uses of credit card debt.
Well, that's why I'm here.
I know. And I love seeing you out there. Do you have $100 in a savings account?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And how much is that $100 in that savings account making for you?
I'm not quite sure.
Oh, interesting. I'm here to tell you it's maybe 1%, 2%. Okay? Does it make any sense that when you have $100 available to pay off your debt, to lose 8% on what you're earning versus what you owe? You're never going to get out of being broke by paying more than what you're earning in interest when you have the money. So a smart move for all of you would always be, if you have money in a savings account or a money market fund and you have credit card debt, and the interest on the credit card debt is higher than the interest that you are earning in your savings account, then it makes no sense to not pay it off. Pay off the $100. Take those other credit card offers, rip them up, throw them out. You don't need them. Nobody needs more than 1 or 2 credit cards. That is all you need. Papa, let him rip them up himself, okay?
Sounds good to me.
There you go. Yes, over here.
If one is debt-free except for a mortgage, where would you put your extra money? Let's say if you had $25,000 or if you had $50,000.
How old are you?
45.
Was that hard to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of thought so. Just wait till you're 50 or 55 or 60. Okay, anyway. Is this a home that you are going to stay in?
Yes, it is.
And what is the interest rate on the mortgage that you're currently paying?
4.5%.
All right, and is that fixed?
It's fixed.
How many years left on that mortgage?
14 years.
All right, in 14 years, you're only going to be 59 years of age, correct?
Correct.
At a 4.5% interest rate that is tax deductible when you're still going to be under 60 when that mortgage is going to be paid off. If I were you, I would not be putting extra money towards that mortgage. I would be taking that extra money and diversifying it in either good no-load mutual funds, exchange-traded funds, dividend-paying stocks, somewhere where over the next 15 years or so you can get growth with that money. If I were investing money right now, I would not be investing it in one lump sum, where you have an extra $25,000, so you just take $25,000 and put it in the market here. No. You would take whatever amount of money you want to invest, divide it by 12. Let's say you had $24,000 and you were going to divide it by 12. That would be $2,000 that you would take every single month and do a technique known as dollar cost averaging, where you take those dollars, invest in one particular mutual fund or exchange traded fund or wherever you want to invest, and you keep doing that every single month. Market goes up, your dollars buy less shares. The market goes down, your dollars buy more shares. But over time, you will average the cost of those shares with your dollars, and you should make more than 4.5% in the long run with that money.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, Susie. My question is, I'm assuming that now, after hearing you, I have a poor credit-to-debt ratio.
All right.
I have 2 credit cards with a total of about $1,700 available to me, and I'm using maybe 2/3 of that.
Yes.
From time to time, it varies. Sometimes
Yes.
I carry a balance. Mostly I paid it off. Do I open a new credit card? And if so, how do I choose one? Or what do you suggest?
Now, this is a very, very interesting question, because there's a few ways to tackle this debt to credit limit ratio. Now, I told you when you have a lot of credit cards, please don't close them down, because when you close them down, you hurt your debt, how much you owe, to your credit limit. Another thing you can do, however, is you can open up another credit card that gives you more of a credit limit, and therefore your debt, what you owe, has stayed the same, but your credit limit has now expanded, which actually helps your credit score. Got that? So therefore, I would open up only one more if that is the goal to help your credit score. However, when you have credit available to you, you have more of a chance of getting yourself in trouble because it's there. So while you can outsmart the system and you can get a higher credit score, the truth of the matter is, in the long run, you could end up in serious trouble. How long have you owed $1,300 on this credit card?
Well, I've never carried a balance that much. The most I've ever carried a balance is like $800 for just a couple months. So I've had it pretty well under control. But I'm thinking about investing in my future, like you've suggested.
So if you're thinking about investing in your future, that is not when you use credit cards to invest in your future. You use credit cards when you are already going to work, you're taking public transportation, you bring your lunch every single day, you never go out, and you still don't have the money to pay your rent. You still don't have the money to even exist. and you want to stay at the job that you're currently at, but they're not paying you enough money because you've just gotten in. Then you use credit cards to get you by, but only in that circumstance. You do not use credit cards ever for anything other than getting yourself by when you are living a minimal existence. Are you living a minimal existence?
Not by what you just described.
All right, you are not to open up another credit card. That is not an investment in your future.
Right.
Don't worry about your credit score. Worry about your own personal credit to yourself. Stay out of credit card debt. Don't use them for that purpose. Yes?
My question has to do with PMI, and I heard that there's ways to get around paying PMI. You've got your 20% down and then your closing costs, and that could be more than you actually are able to come up with. And say you've got 10% down and enough for the closing costs, how do you get around that other 10% paying PMI?
Got it. For those of you who don't know, again, PMI stands for private mortgage insurance. And anytime you buy a home and you put less than 20% down, you are required to pay PMI. PMI is $45 for every $100,000 of a mortgage that you happen to take out. You have a $200,000 mortgage, therefore it's going to cost you $90 per month just in PMI, and that is a lot of money. How do you get around it? The typical way to get around it, and not a way that I want you to use, but the typical way is to do what's called a piggyback loan. You take out one loan for 80% of the mortgage and another loan that piggybacks on top of it for 10%. That way, the 80% mortgage doesn't have PMI on it because it was only for 80%, and the other loan, the piggyback, the 10% one, is usually a home equity line of credit that piggybacks on top of your 80%. Therefore, you don't have PMI. Here's the problem. With a piggyback loan, with interest rates going up, a home equity line of credit, those interest rates continue to go up and up and up, and they will go up as Alan Greenspan continues to increase over these next few years the Fed funds rate. So it is a very dangerous way to actually finance to get out of PMI. As interest rates go up, you may be paying more in the long run than PMI. What is the smart way to get out of PMI that very few people know about? Listen up. You can pay PMI up front, and nobody knows that. On a 30-year mortgage, for instance, on a $200,000 mortgage, PMI up front, if you paid it, is 1% or $2,000. You could roll that $2,000 into your actual mortgage. So rather than having a $200,000 mortgage, you have a $202,000 mortgage. $2,000 more on a mortgage might cost you an extra $13 a month or something like that. And that $13 a month is essentially tax deductible. There are many other things like this coming out, but this is the best way for you to go about and do it. Could even be at times 0.5%, but it's the best way to do it. Pay your PMI up front, done, signed, sealed, and delivered. There you go.
Great, thank you.
All right, next question.
Hi, Susie. My girlfriend and I, we will be looking at getting a house together. Her credit score is, I think it's about 740.
Is how much?
740.
She's a catch. Where is she?
Oh, she's right there.
Where are you? That's 780. What's the matter with you? It's 780. Don't you dare let her go. But let me guess the rest of this question. Just let me guess it. You're a pitiful credit score mess.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it is, but I know it's not 780. It's probably way, way far below that.
Girlfriend, go join your boyfriend up there. Go join him up there, and while you're walking up there, have you checked your credit score?
Not recently.
When last time you happened to check it?
Probably a couple of years ago.
Oh yes, but what was the number?
I didn't recall that at the time. I wasn't fully aware of the credit scores at that time.
All right, so what do you think his credit score is?
Probably maybe in the 600s.
600s, possibly even lower. Do you have any credit cards that you haven't been paying on?
I always pay out my credit cards. I have 2 credit cards.
And do you have any past balances? Do you have anything that's gotten you into trouble with your credit cards?
Probably in the past, my
In the
previous
past,
life.
all right. Here's what the two of you need to know. Are you going to buy this house while you're still boyfriend and girlfriend?
Well, I didn't know if we should buy it under her name or if we should buy it together.
But are you planning to buy this house as boyfriend and girlfriend or husband and wife?
We were thinking about as boyfriend, girlfriend first and then get
Is that what you were thinking too, girlfriend?
Become husband and wife.
To become
Yeah,
husband
and
and
live
wife. And who, pray tell, has the money for the down payment on this house?
Actually, we both are saving together.
All right, so you're saving equally together.
Yes.
Here's the thing that you have to now be aware of. Listen closely. When you go to apply for a mortgage in both of your names, the mortgage company will check your credit score, and the mortgage company will check your credit score. And they will do one of two things. They will combine your 2 credit scores and take the average and give you your interest rate based on the average, or most likely, they will take the lowest of the 2 and they will assign the interest rate on your home according to your credit score rather than hers. So what is a better thing to do is if you can qualify for this home on your own, income-wise, without him. And once you check your credit scores, there is a significant difference between yours and his. You would be far better off to get the loan in just your name. After you get the loan just in your name, if you want, you can put him on title. He's not responsible for the loan. So you're going to have to work that out, but you can add his name to title then while you still have a low interest rate, therefore, on this home. The key is, can you qualify for this loan on your own without his income? So that's something that you're going to have to decide between the two of you. Be very, very careful. Make sure that you decide how you're equally going to pay for this mortgage, how you're going to divide everything up, how you're going to take title, but your credit score will make a difference in the interest rate that you pay.
Thanks.
There you go.